They'll be waiting for you at Bellevue with their oxygen masks. Hi, Kevin Blanch. I told you I was painting yellow ribbons all over my whole house. This time of year is the first time of year in my whole life I haven't had a hawk and trowel in my hand since I was 17. So I started doing a fresco over there on the side. I do a lot of frescoes. I got it out, mixed me up a little plaster, did it, frescoed it over there. Look, I want to talk about, it's the anniversary today at Fukushima. I started an Occupy movement. My daughter says, what you going to occupy out here? This is the most important thing there is. More important than Wall Street, yeah, the environment. So I organized this Occupy West Weber, Occupy the Environment movement. Like I said, I organized this big thing, Facebook, whatever. People come help me paint my house. Here's who showed up for the meeting and the paint. 4 dogs, 2 cats, and a robin. And my little 1-year-old grandson. He come and helped me. He painted a couple. That's it. Why? Because they're all fake Christians out here. It's a pathetic joke. Let's review Fukushima. Point by point. Point by point. Okay, a year ago it happens. Fact 1. As the earthquake happened, a 9-point earthquake, it fractured the cores. Wouldn't matter if the tsunami hit or the tsunami did not hit. It fractured the cores, which would have poured in anyway. As soon as it was fractured, it was on. How did I scream and yell and rant and rave coming out of my subconscious to know it was fractured? Because it was a 9-point earthquake. I know enough about these things. They can't even handle a 7-point earthquake, let alone a tsunami. They can't handle an F3 tornado. They'll admittedly tell you that. I knew that stored fuel is set on site. It's 95 cent redistributed or reused. So what? 5% over 40 years. I knew they were flooded. I knew they have no water containment vessels around. None of them. I know that. None of them. So when a core is fractured, I knew that it was going to be leaking into the Pacific Ocean. Immediately, I didn't know they were going to come in and spray water, which is the biggest disaster they could ever do. And let's remember, point 2. Did a plume go up in the air and spill over Japan? Yes, yes, yes. Big plutonium plume. Big cesium plume. Okay, so as they're spraying water over the spent fuel rods, over the cores, hundreds and hundreds of millions of gallons. The water flows over. Is there a bladder system? Is there a containment system around it to catch the water? They can repump it, redistribute? No, around none of them. Was the walls, they have concrete barrier walls. Can water seep through concrete walls? Yes. Were the concrete walls fractured? Yes. Were they just dirt floors? Yes. Did all of the water full of cesium, plutonium, and all these horrible isotopes go into the Pacific? Yes. Millions and millions of millions of gallons. Plus the plume went into the air. How much plutonium and cesium flowed? 3 full core meltdowns that have gone on for literally 6, 7, 8, 9 months. Do the math. These scientists can do the math. More plutonium has been poured in the Pacific Ocean than plutonium has been released into the history of the world. Now, the open-air tests that went in Nevada from 1951 to 1968 that did kill my father, that killed a lot of us Utahns as it floated. We all have a whole bunch of that, especially Utahns. We have a lot of that in it because it gets into the jet stream. It gets into the food chain. Look, you got to realize back when they were lined up, they didn't even really know what the jet stream was. Remember the Fugo bombs for Japan? Jet stream was hypothesized by the Japanese many years ago. They were sending those Fugo bombs up during World War II. They were landing in Oregon. They were landing all over in the Northwest. The United States government kept tight lips so no one would know. You know, a pastor with his church congregation found one, killed them all. But it was landing in very rural forests of Oregon. But they were getting here. The Doolittle run, what do you think screwed it all up? They didn't understand the jet stream. So even as the government were doing the test video, well, they didn't totally understand the jet stream as wind flowed one way and the jet stream flowed another. This gets into the jet stream. They didn't understand it. They know it now. So as it poured all over the earth. So we all have a whole bunch of Nevada test sites. They kept doing underground until '93, but the open air. We have a huge amount of Chernobyl in us. I mean, all over the earth. I mean, it gets on there. But we have a massive amount of plutonium. When I went off that morning, first report on Earth that was ever given. My reports every day that were going out talking about this is a full core meltdown. Everybody arguing, including Gunderson, including all these guys, just attack me. And you guys, as I go off on the left, let's be clear. My whole agenda, I think the left has been way too soft, and that's why they've lost every battle over 4 years. They forgot how to fight. That doesn't mean, I love Tom Hartman. He's brilliant. He's a genius. A lot of you guys over there, they're incredible geniuses. Is there room for everybody? Yeah, but the progressive movement needs to get tough when it comes to the environment. And they won't. That's been my whole thesis of this whole thing. This is a socioeconomic study. My PhD, that's what this was all about. Look, occupy the environment. Yeah, I tried to organize right here as I live on one of the greatest flyways in the world. The corporate area is drained off. One of the greatest wetlands, illegal, and gets away with it. Pollution to the 10th power. Be clear, Fukushima, when it happened, they cracked on impact. Would it have been a disaster without the tsunami? Absolute, major, mega disaster. Did they let it blow off? And they blew, which is, in that, just in its own right, having a core meltdown where you have to blow it off is so major, catastrophic. They did it. They did it. They blew it off. Okay, in the United States, we have low-level poofs all the time. These factories blow off stuff all the time. Is it reported? No, because there's nobody watching. The NRC is a joke. Is a fucking, just like everybody says, Ron Paul says, get rid of the EPA. Fuck, you might as well, because they quit doing fucking anything 30 years ago. It's like I say, these guys that used to work for me, I used to tell them all the time, you quit and just ain't left yet. That's who those fuckers, they don't do anything. They fucking, in the last 30, they've done fucking up. They're a fucking joke. The NRC, gift job by Harry Reid, a Mormon from here, we have a brownie in NRC. Jacko's a brownie. No background in this. IEA, oh God, we're talking about the cover-up in Iran. How about the cover-up in Fukushima, which is 10 million times more than Iran? You warmonger and kill motherfucking radical fake industrialist military complex make me sick. But let's be clear. One, there was a core breakdown immediately. Disasters. Two, they did plume off and let off steam all over. Three, the corporate media, with malice, intentionally covered up. That's one thing, just to, oh, we didn't know, we got it wrong. It can be proven, it can be documented that they intentionally done. That is malice, that is criminal, that is crimes against humanity. All those guys, all the world, including the BBC. Three, they could have bladder system as the water was spraying over, caught the water, did they? No. Could the United States stepped in? Yes. Did they? No. They claimed there was treaties and law. Is Japanese TEPCO to blame? Fuck yes. Japanese government to blame? Big time, big time. IEA, oh yeah, big time. NRC, big time. Contemporary idealism, who doesn't know how to fight and protect the fucking environment, which we couldn't do 30 years ago. Fuck the environmentalists, you know, Larry Bogart, your John Goffs of the world, your Walt Stegners of the world, your, you know, Udalls of the world. Those guys knew how to fight. How about Rachel Carson? You think she knew how to fight? They quit fighting. The environmentalist movement was anti-nuke big time. If we could have freaking fought like we were supposed to fight, kept fighting for the last 30 years, and had a contemporary society who understood what we were talking about, our system was set up to go to war with each other. It's our forefathers beautifully said. Two-party systems work. We don't have, the reason it doesn't work is we don't have a two-party system because the left quit fighting. And the bully, ignorant fucking, they're bullies, that's all they are. The bully right just mowed them over as they crawled into the corner and just exploited this environment. Look. It's like you environmentalists in Georgia. You think you've accomplished something? They're building 2 nuclear plants. It blows my mind. And as I made my shirt, travel Fukushima, Japan, we are all residents. You are already there. We are already there. Every one of us. As I have leukemia now and I'm fighting for my life. As my subconscious spilled out, because I knew I had a whole bunch of Fukushima in us. Now I know how much benzene's in latex, as I used all that latex additive, as I was a plaster. In that plaster that I used for 35 years, tens of thousands of gallons of it I used. Chernobyl in me. My subconscious knew, Kev, your body can't take any more Fukushima float over my body, as it's flowed over all of us, our bodies. Fukushima was a disaster that could have been prevented, number one. Number two, when it did happen, it could have been handled so well. It could have been handled to where they did dump the water over the top and they put containment vessels in there and crapped all that water. Yeah, would it have been a major project to pull up? Absolutely. Would it have been worth it? The World Organization got involved? But let's be clear, the cores cracked on impact. It was a full blown out meltdown on impact. As Gunderson and all these guys argued me and told me it was not. I was right. You were wrong. Fact, fact, fact. These guys do interviews all over and they're passive arguments. And why do you think nobody even wants to talk? Because you put them to sleep with your, when you talk, when I hear these interviews and these, people turn the channel. Because you're so fucking passive. Blah, blah, blah. Isotopes go on in this smart fuel rods, and everybody's like, oh my God, you know, put me to sleep. This is better than Xanax. And they change it. How about a little fucking passion like it was in 79? It's a disaster. It's going to kill millions and millions of people. Make no mistake about it. Yeah, and I painted my house. Orange ribbon is the leukemia ribbon. Back in the hospital. You know, like I said, I started my Occupy the Environment movement right here. It's seriously, 4 dogs, 2 cats, and a robin. Kevin Blanch.